Thank you for tuning in to another edition of Just an Opinion. Today I'm going to talk about Saved by the Bell.
When I wake up in the morning and the alarm gets out of warning, I don't think I'll ever make it on time.
The college years. That's right, the long-forgotten prime time spin-off of the beloved Saturday morning series.
I'm sitting at the edge of tomorrow, and it's all up to me how far I go.
On a sad note, I learned that today, February 1st, 2021, that Dustin Diamond, aka Screech, passed away. Rest in peace, buddy. Without missing a beat, this show picked up right where high school left off, airing from the fall of 1993 until late winter of 1994. With a slightly different cast, the show follows the gang in their freshman year at Cal U. It did feature a lot of Saved by the Bell-ish humor.
I've got to get rid of this girl tonight, so tomorrow morning I'm going to go bungee jumping without the bungee.
But I will dare say that there were some attempts to make the show appeal more to the primetime drama audiences that followed shows like 90210 and Melrose Place religiously.
Is there gonna be some NO?
No?
NO. You know, nitrous oxide?
It's hard to say why this show wasn't as successful as its high school counterpart. I have a few theories, but more questions than anything. So I'll just share what my thoughts are. Of course, just an opinion.
Just don't stare at Uncle Manny's toupee.
Which one's Uncle Manny?
Trust me, you'll know.
So let's talk about characters. Returning to the fold, we get Zach, Slater, Screech, and eventually Kelly. The pilot featured the character Danielle,
Hi, I'm Danielle Marks.
but she was never heard from again once the show officially debuted, replacing her with Kelly.
Guess who's here?
We also get new characters Alex, Leslie, and Mike Rogers. With our returning characters, Zach, well, he's still Zach.
I mean, on the one hand, I could get thrown out of school. On the other, I could be in Cancun with Kelly in a bikini. The rave's on.
He's taught very early on that his high school antics and scams won't cut it in college.
You run a fake contest, and in the end, there's no prize at all, right?
You're right with me, Mike.
Guess what, Zach? You're not in high school anymore. When you run a contest in college and offer a prize, there better be one.
But of course, Zach is a little thick-headed and is still scheming to make some extra money or worm his way out of a problem.
I don't care what he says. We're playing poker. I ain't afraid of that guy. Zach! What? You know what I said. No poker.
Moving on to Slater. While a big man on the Bayside campus, he is a bit humbled as a freshman on the wrestling team, realizing he is now a small fish in a much bigger pond.
Come on, Slater, you're better than that. You're supposed to be a state champ. Now let's try it again. Here we go.
AC also has a bit of a cultural awakening, but I'm going to go into greater detail on that later.
By the way, can you finish clearing this table?
Why should I clean your table?
Because you're a busboy.
I'm not a busboy, I'm an oppressed minority.
But rest assured, he still has his good looks and his ability to never age.
Well, I couldn't sleep, so I decided to go for a stroll.
Oh yes, the dumpsters are so peaceful and calming this time of night.
I mean, seriously, he looks exactly the same even 30 years later now. Screech remains the resident goofball.
Hey, guys! You going to the parade? You don't want to miss the elephants.
He was still an integral part of the puzzle, serving as both a scholar, but also hilariously naive.
I would like a chicken sandwich, plain on a toasted roll.
Oh, I got this, Mike. Clara, I need a naked chick with hot buns.
But it's a shame that the writers really didn't develop his character more.
Yeah, but you know how sometimes when you're really good at something, it sort of makes you feel like an outsider?
Boy, do I.
Kelly was a good vibes only, borderline ditzy cheerleader at Bayside. In the college years, though, she develops a bit more of an edge, accompanied with some dry wit.
Is this what our mothers burned their bras for in the 60s?
You know, my mother once burned a bra. She fell asleep and the Virginia Slim fell out of her mouth.
While ultimately the focal point of the show saw Kelly and Zach getting back together,
Come on, I'll walk you to class. What have we got?
Chemistry.
We sure do.
She actually had the most daring character arc, which I'm going to cover a bit later.
Kelly, I don't know exactly how you feel about me, but I'm your professor, and the university has very strict rules against you and I getting involved.
Look, I know all the rules, but I can't help the way I feel about you.
And on to the new characters. We'll start first with the not-so-great addition, Leslie.
I have never gotten less than a B in my life, and I am not about to start.
I didn't care for her for the same reason I couldn't stand Jessie. She was just an entitled and privileged goody two-shoes.
I don't want any part of this. Just by listening to you, I'm an accessory to a rave.
Yet the writers, badly, tried to show that she could be cool too.
Hey, I have a wild side to me. I'm perfectly capable of getting down with my bad self.
Originally, the character was a possible love interest for Zach. But once it was clear that he only wanted Kelly, she just kind of faded into the background, not really contributing much to the show. Okay, so with that criticism out of the way, let's talk about Alex.
I love the outfit. Now lose it.
I beg your pardon?
You heard me, Beefcake. Peel down.
She, on the other hand, was a great addition to the show. In many ways, she was the only original new character not filling in a void from one of the previous personalities. She was sweet, quirky, and very unpredictable.
Well, of course I'm ashamed. I'm on a date with Big Bird.
Well, I certainly wouldn't want to embarrass you.
With the wrong actress, I think this character could have been dull or overly annoying, but thankfully that wasn't the case.
They're too emotional.
Emotional? We are not emotional.
And finally, we get Mike Rogers.
Hang on, X-97, I'm coming! Where's my mouse?
His character was an extension of actor Bob Golick's real life, having played both professional football and, for a little bit of trivia's sake, played at Notre Dame with the real-life Rudy. Rogers at first somewhat fills the void of Mr. Belding serving as the kid's resident advisor. He is both a disciplinarian.
You two, grab some mops.
But also a counseled elder they can go to for advice.
I know this isn't the NFL, but I'm telling you, the kids here really need you, and I couldn't have gotten through that test without you. I know that doesn't sound like much.
It means more than you think.
But in later episodes, Rogers was a bit more of the latter, as recurring character Dean McManus served as the authority figure that was especially a thorn in Zach's side.
You are in serious trouble.
Dean McMahon, please, I can assure you there is a reasonable explanation.
Oh, really? Well, I can't wait to hear it.
Switching to a college setting and a primetime airing spot, there was some opportunity for the show to explore more mature themes than its Saturday morning counterpart. But they still treated most of the material with kid gloves.
X-97, come back!
Death to all vermin.
Living in a Tom and Jerry cartoon.
There were a few exceptions, though. As previously mentioned, Slater did have a bit of a cultural awakening, embracing his Latino roots.
Come on, Slater. Chicano studies? Why do you care about that?
Because I'm Chicano. In case you never noticed.
Gee, I always thought he was Italian.
Me too, actually. This identity, though, comes with the realization of the oppression of his people that still exists in America, and it leads to his activism, which causes conflict between him and Zach, since it interrupts their ski weekend plans.
All right, you got something to say, Preppy? Say it.
I will. Why did you have to pick this weekend to be a Chicano?
But, of course, Preppy and the Curly Conan are amigos para siempre, and eventually make up. For the most part, Screech is just a continuation of his high school character. But one episode showed more potential, involving a love triangle between him, a tennis pro, and Zach. The latter laughs it off when Screech reveals his true feelings, triggering a confrontation.
You have so little respect for me that you can't even picture one girl liking me more than you.
Well, I'm not gonna live with anyone who thinks I'm beneath him. You can find yourself a new roommate. As far as Linda's concerned, may the best man win. And I'm not afraid of you either.
Screech at first feels like he has no chance in competing with Zach.
You know, maybe you don't deserve Linda.
What do you mean?
Because you're a quitter. Sitting here telling me how you feel about her. Did you ever tell her how you feel?
Well, no.
But after a pep talk with Mike, he makes his feelings known to Linda, and to everyone's shock, she chooses him over Zach. I really wish they would have fleshed out this story more. He deserved better, just saying. As the series progressed, it looked inevitable that Zach and Kelly would be getting back together. But there was a snag, a big snag. Kelly actually gets involved with her professor.
Look, we'll just be real discreet about this. It's nobody's business. It's between you, me, and my sorority sisters. I'm kidding.
While it was still handled very PG-like, it certainly was the most scandalous thing that happened on the series.
And I, in turn, am capable of handling this in adult and mature fashion. Maybe not.
That being said, I'm wondering why they didn't tackle other college issues since they had the opportunity. I mean, there wasn't even a drinking episode.
Hey, buddy, there's no drinking in here, all right?
There's always a drinking episode in college shows. While the show had the potential to explore much new material, in the end, they really seemed to kind of phone it in with the focus once again being on Zach and Kelly. I wonder if this was the plan all along, or if they just went in that direction to end everything with something familiar once the powers that be said there would be no season 2. Season 1 ended, and then they had the grand finale to the original Saved by the Bell franchise in whole, with the TV movie Wedding in Las Vegas. Of course, Saved by the Bell would return in concept with the new class, but the original incarnation has really never left the minds of popular culture, which eventually helped usher in the Saved by the Bell Redux, not reboot. But I still think the college years are severely overlooked, so give them a shot. Thank you so much for watching, and please do leave a comment. I'll be back soon, but this time I'm going to rank my top 10 favorite Alfred Hitchcock movies. I hope you check it out, and just remember to stand at the edge of tomorrow.